let's talk about the manufacturing advisory service. And I said to him, how long has that been in your world? He's been a manufacturer for 30 years. Now, how long has the manufacturing advisory service been in your life? He said, forever. That's what happened. Quite quietly, to be honest. I don't see anybody moaning about it. Do you? In the press? On my way to see an engineering company today, and I've been asked, well, I haven't been asked to do anything. I asked to go and see them. Worked with them a number of years, had a bit of a break of maybe a year and a half, and don't really know what they're up to, but I just sent them an email and said, look, the business support sector has changed significantly, which it has. And so the Manufacturing Advisory Service, Growth Accelerator, all these government-funded organisations, after the budget in November, had their funding pulled. And so, in terms of grant support for consultancy, gone, primarily. So I emailed him and said, look, you know, it's a new world. I can't give you any grants towards the work, but you know what I'm like, what I'm about. Shall we meet up? Is there any mileage? I've used that phrase before. Any mileage in talking? And he said, yes, there is. And so that's why I'm going. I'm going to see if there's an opportunity to work together, and I will update you later. I've just left the meeting with the engineering company, and we talked first about their business, and which has to be done now. We talked about my business because I asked for the meeting. And so they told me about contracts that were coming to an end, and their performance financially, and yeah, what the issues on the horizon were. And I listened. That was maybe 20 minutes. At that point, bearing in mind I am looking for how I can help. That's the purpose of the meeting. He turned around to me and said, well, that's why we're here, isn't it? Is to see what you can do. And what do you think you can do? Where would you focus your effort? I said, well, based on what you said, it's got to be marketing, hasn't it? You told me a contract's coming to the end. You need to raise turnover. It has to be that segment of your market. Okay. And I said, but the world's changed. The business support sector has changed dramatically in terms of consultancy. Because in the past, I could have found a scheme or a project, something that would fit what you're trying to do, which would fit the scheme's requirements and help you get a contribution towards the payment of my day rate. You can't do that now. After the budget, I mean, put it in perspective. Let's talk about the Manufacturing Advisory Service. And I said to him, how long has that been in your world? He's been a manufacturer for 30 years. Now, how long has the Manufacturing Advisory Service been in your life? He said, forever. That's what happened. Quite quietly, to be honest. I don't see anybody moaning about it. Do you? In the press? The Manufacturing Advisory Service, which has supported manufacturers for a generation, was closed, or given notice of closure, with 3 days' notice, after being quietly and subtly announced in the budget. He said, what do you think will happen? I said, well, they're a private company delivering a government contract. Everything is consultancy now without support. Businesses pay full day rates, but they don't get consultancy. Not field consultancy. I said, so that's the world you live in. That's changed how we must work together. Because in the past, I would see you, we would talk about what you might want to do, and I've done various work with them, like director coaching, marketing coaching. I'm using the word coaching for a reason, okay? Which basically means I come and see you, I listen to you, and I demonstrate how you could do things better if you choose to. That's coaching. Very hard to put a measurable financial figure on return on investment in coaching. Because I am showing you how to do things better. I'm not doing them for you. That's not coaching, that's consultancy. Well, the whole business support sector has been shifted to coaching. Everything was coaching. Consultancy was like a swear word. It was like a dirty word. I've been asked to take the word consultancy out of project briefs because it wasn't acceptable. So, this is what I said to him. I can't work with you on a woolly brief. I can't coach you. Because at the end of the work, you're going to turn around to me and look at how much you've spent and not quite be sure how much money you made back. Now, we've done that in the past, and I said to him, you know, do you remember that work we did when you were talking to the directors, fellow directors, and we were kind of having a conversation about direction and, well, relationships? I said, do you remember that? I said, we worked together. There was no measurable output. There was no, this is the sales figure you're going to get back from director coaching. That didn't happen. You can't do that. But as he pointed out, there was benefit, significant benefit. And at the end of the time, he would sit down and say, I know that helped and I know it was worth it. I know that for a fact, not because he said so, because he paid me again. That's kind of the ultimate measure of if you did a good job, right? You get another one. So I said, you know, that was fine, but I'm not going to work with you like that anymore. I want you to set me a specific challenge and target that we hit and focus on every session. We don't change and chop around. You've given me a mission, and I will, what's the word, aggressively pursue your mission. I said, I'll go after your target segment. You've told me how it works, which is basically you're a good company with a good reputation, and when you send out haphazardly emails on big gaps, you know, between sending, you get jobs. Well, I'll do that for you. He goes, well, you know, last time we did this, because I helped him with his first email, which he did get a job from. He said, you know, I find it hard. It's not my, he's an engineer, likes engineering. He said, I find it hard because I'm not natural at coming up with the content and messages, and, you know, I'm not quite sure what to say. And I said, yes, you are. We sat down for, you know, a good 2 hours, and you gave me loads of messages and loads of sales pitches and loads of content. Because, yeah, but it was like pulling teeth, wasn't it? I was like, no, not really. He said, it was. You were like the dentist, and you were extracting my teeth, which I quite like. I like that one. I'm the dentist, marathon man. Yeah, I'm the dentist. I thought, well, that's true. I am the dentist. I came and see him and said, give me some sales messages. I haven't got a clue. And by the end of 2 or 3 hours, I'd pulled his teeth. I'd got all the best bits out of his brain. That's my job. So that's what happened. I said, I'll tell you what, for 6 months, I'm not doing it for 1 month because this is a marketing campaign. You can't do it in bits. We're talking about, you don't know when your customer wants to buy your product, because people switch suppliers in engineering when things go wrong. They don't sit down on a regular basis and go, how can I get a better supplier? They don't do that. It's too risky. What they do is they wait until someone can't deliver or they screw up. Well, we don't know when that's going to happen, which means I must communicate consistently with continuity on a regular basis so that when there is a mistake, I'm the name. Well, they haven't been doing that. They've been sending out emails when they have time, which is kind of once every 6 months. Well, that won't work because you're outside the memory time, you know. We don't know when they're going to be needed. So I'll do that. I'm going to come and see you once a month for 6 months. I'm going to extract your teeth. I'm going to write up your teeth, your sales messages, professionally, using sales content writing that we do. I'm then going to put it into your website. I'm going to broadcast it far and wide around social media. You won't have to do anything. And we're going to do that every month. And at the end of the month, we're going to download the engagement list, which means who looked at my content or clicked it. And we're going to use a telemarketer to ring them up, and you're going to go and see them, and you're going to close the deals, because I can't do that bit. And we're going to do it every month. And he was like, we know what to do, but we just don't have time or stop and think moments. So, well, that's the point. I'm coming. Dentist visit. I said, that's what I will do. I said, not only that, because bear in mind, it's a new world, right? I need you to make as much money as possible on your payment to me. I'll do other stuff. Your son is focusing on the sheet metal market, and he's a marketing type person. So I'll give you a second opinion whenever you want it. I'll look at your content. You'll have someone else helping you. You'll have a second opinion. I said, I'll also look at your social media. Anything that can make them more money, because that is the new world of business support. You don't get help. There is no help to get a payment for a good consultant. You pay full rates. That puts a lot of responsibility and accountability on your consultant, me. I have to deliver. That's an interesting idea, isn't it? Because most people are coaches or coaching, or they've branded themselves coaching. And I wonder, I wouldn't want to be selling coaching right now. You know, I'll come and see you, I'll coach you how to do this. I would not want to be selling that right now, because when you're paying commercial day rates without government funding, that ain't going to last long. And that's what happened.